Hey, how's it going? It's Brian from Bee's Music Shop, and today I'm checking out from JHS the 424 gain stage. This thing's meant to recreate all the lo-fi days of the TASCAM 4 tracks. I haven't heard it yet. Let's check it out together. Before I get going, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Those things make a huge difference to a little music store like us. If we can get you a cat t-shirt, a cat toy, a cat pedal that when you play through it, you could record it into a 4-track, but it makes your guitar go meow. We make that. We also have a whole bunch of pedals that just have cats on them because it makes me laugh, because it's fun, because pedals are supposed to be fun. Hit us up. beesmusicshop.com. Your support means all the difference. All right, I have my handy dandy sheet here for the gain stage. Let's see what JHS has to say about it. The 424 gain stage gives all the elastic lo-fi tone you get from plugging a guitar rig straight into a TASCAM Portastudio 424. Now in pedal form, you can easily integrate the rubbery clean tones, high headroom, and smashed out fuzz that's being repopularized by today's emerging guitarists. And yes, it does the Mk.Gee thing. McGee? Mk.Gee? It also ventures well beyond, covering all types of bedroom pop and direct-in tones from emerging artists like David, Steve Lacy, Malcolm Todd, and Omar Apollo, as well as mainstays like Mac DeMarco, Spoon, and Radiohead. I hope I got all those right. I am in my 40s. The original Portastudio was made famous in the 80s and 90s and gave us the ability to bring our songs to life from the comfort of our cluttered bedrooms. These multi-track recorders meant for home studios found their way onto hit records like Springsteen's Nebraska, the Wu-Tang Clan's Enter the Wu-Tang, and Spoon's Gimme Fiction. Many of the vocal parts and fuzzy guitar tracks on Gimme Fiction, a huge inspiration for the creation of the color box, were actually recorded onto a Portastudio. Since hearing those recordings, the 424 gain stage has been brewing in the background, and now we're proud to bring it to you. In this historically accurate recreation, we perfected and replicated the original 424 MK1 circuit using the original UPC 4570 and NJM 4565 op amps and all original controls, which is crucial for recreating the unique character that makes the old units sound so good. The Portastudio's gain controls, trim, channel volume, and master volume all work in tandem for dialing up your desired tone and can be further refined with the low and high EQ settings. In addition, our unit offers a 1/4-inch output alongside a balanced XLR output, DI out, for ultimate flexibility in any situation, live or studio. Yeah, these things are super cool. I remember recording out of these and they get fuzzed out and weird fast. So let's go ahead and check out our controls here. This is our little manual that comes with it, not our little hype sheet thing. The 424 gain stage is a multi-stage gain device giving you everything from a clean lo-fi sound to blown out fuzz, accurately replicating the full signal path of a vintage Portastudio 424 MK1. The volume, gain 1, and gain 2 controls work together to give you a versatile tone shaping. Perfect your tone with bass and treble EQ controls. So your volume controls the output volume, left is less, right is more. On the Portastudio 424, this was the master fader. Gain 1 sets how much preamplification will be added to the input signal. On the Portastudio 424, this is the trim knob. Gain 2 sets the volume level on the second gain stage. On the Portastudio 424, this is the channel fader. Bass cuts or boosts bass frequencies, left is less, right is more. Treble cuts or boosts the treble frequencies, left is less, right is more. Input and output jacks, XLR output, XLR jack on the left side of the pedal. This is a balance output which can be used as a direct out straight into a mixer or interface. The 1/4-inch output and XLR output can be used simultaneously. We're actually using them simultaneously here today. You're going to be mostly hearing this into our Strymon Iridium. I will at some point tell you when we're listening to this. Ground lift, there's a ground lift over here. Dip switch on the left side of the pedal. If you experience a hum buzz while using the XLR output, use the switch to lift the ground. Requires 9-volt DC center negative power and consumes 50 milliamps. Has soft touch switch. Don't open it up or you'll void the warranty. Blah, blah, blah. All right, for today's demo, I am using my Cower Grippin Nightmare Barbie Pink. Here's the bridge pickup. This is the 1/4-inch out. Neck pickup. Still in the 1/4-inch out. When we get to the XLR, I'll tell you. All right, let's switch this thing on. Let's keep everything at 12 o'clock. Ooh, gets bassy fast. All right, let's try turning this down. Let's turn this. Just... try gain 2, less on gain 1. Let's see if... Sounds cool. All right, let's see. Let's absolutely hammer the front end. Make it like... Actually, it's great. Because if I remember right, there was like no mid control in this. It was like high shelf, low shelf on the original Portastudio. So like... So that's almost like treble. I mean like presence treble. It's just, how blown out does it get? Let's try it like no bass, lots of treble, pretty well blown out. Next, I want to hear this XLR out. So now I am officially using the XLR out. So here's just my guitar, clean bridge pickup. All right, same thing, blown out preamp. Turn up the gain a little bit. Now, no, there's no cab sim on this. This is just like if you plugged into the Portastudio, if I plugged my electric guitar into a Portastudio and I was really crummy at setting my gain levels. That's exactly what it sounded like. Sounds fun. I like the way this thing sounds like garage rock, so let's put some drums with it. I'm sick of that. I'm done with that. This is cool. I mean, straight ahead gain, super lo-fi. I like the way this thing sounds. I have a little surprise for you. But before I do that, I have to say I like this thing. It's cool. I used a lot of these 4-track recorders back in the day. It is funny how at the time this distortion was absolutely infuriating, and now we like it, which really, at this point in the music industry, is exactly what I'd expect. It's funny how we always just chase these nostalgia things, but this is a cool sound. I mean, it's this kind of weird transistory fuzz that did sound pretty decent, but at the same rate, it also was kind of ratty and blown out and has just that cool, like, lo-fi sound of that era. I mean, I still have cassettes around with 4-track recordings on them, and I still don't have a cassette deck to play them back on. Once in a while I do, and then I think I don't want to hear that. If you think this guitar playing's bad now, you should have saw it 20 years ago. But JHS is making a lot of dirt pedals, and it's nice when it's just like, not another rat. Like, you know, they made rats, they killed it on their rat, their bonsai is killer, the color box is incredible. This is just another cool thing they make that's a little unique. It's not something that's been done a million times. But I said I had something special, and I do. Check this out. So a couple years ago, my friend from Tark Audio sent me this Tark 144. This thing is also a reproduction of an old Tascam 4-track recorder. I think this is from an older recorder, like the actual 80s one. This is from that 90s kind of plasticky looking one, and I think this is from 144. I think might be, my memory serves, from a Tascam 144 or Tascam something. Let's just put them side by side and A-B them. That'll be kind of fun. So let's go to the JHS we've been playing with. All right, now let's go over to the Tark. We're getting close. A little more bass, a little bit more treble. Let's try to turn the dynamic the other way, see if that helps. A little bit more volume. Getting close. They are so close, but so different. This one has like a totally different mid-range response than this one does. Like, listen. Oh, there you got him close. Teensy tiny bit more treble here, and I bet I got it. Nope, a little bit more. Yeah, blown out. So that's it. That's our look at the JHS 424 gain stage. Little side trip with the Tark 144. Just for funsies. But this is super cool. It takes us back to the original home recording. I mean, really, there was a point when all you had was a cassette tape, and a lot of those cool little op amps, they sort of squashed, they distorted, we all did our best with what we had. And it's pretty cool that those lo-fi tones have sort of, like, in some of the ways that tube amps and some of their quirks and issues have made it into the way to, like, the lexicon of guitar tones. So have old 4-track recorders into a lot of lo-fi recordings. And it's cool to see that still be a thing. I think it's really fun that people make things like this and preamplifiers, JHS with a color box, and there's just so many cool things where we're not just thinking about, how can I make a two screamer or distortion, where like, how can I think of a different way or somehow that like a preamp was distorted, like in the ways of the color box, we're attacking that, revolution opening chord, plug into a Neve console on 10 sound. You can get that with things like that. Something like this is a totally different idea where it goes down some lo-fi bands, alt bands, like with me, it just reminds me of being a teenager and fooling around with these things and remembering sort of what it was like adjusting that knob till it sort of distorted and being like, this sounds pretty neat. I do give bonus to the Tark 144 VU meter, analog VU meter. It jumps, it bounces, it does a thing. I'm just saying, not enough pedals have a little bouncy needle, and everyone should have them in my personal opinion. But past that, these are both great pedals. It's super fun to just have a slightly different forward in the mix lo-fi guitar tone, and I think they rock it. I'm pretty excited to keep screwing around with these. So if we can get you a JHS Gain Stage 424, we have them in stock, beesmusicshop.com. If we can get you a cat t-shirt, a cat toy, I really might be the only guitar shop with my own cat toy. Probably. Well, maybe not. I haven't really done any research to make that claim, but cats like them, and that's enough for me. We also make the Meowdulator. It turns your guitar into a cat. We did that. I don't know why, but we thought it had to exist, and pretty much a lot of people on the internet pretty mad about it, but I'm not worried about that either. We also make a whole bunch of guitar pedals, 26, as I was just counting this morning, other guitar pedals that just have cats on them, just because they're fun. Some of them are my cats, some of them are imaginary cats. you never know. Maybe they look like your cat. They have Andy Timmons' cat on one of them. Hit us up, beesmusicshop.com. Thank you so much for watching.